Hey everyone, welcome back to RPG PhD, your channel for the art and science of role-playing. I'm Dr. Ben, and today we're diving into some incredible storytelling devices that can elevate your RPG sessions. These are techniques borrowed from literature and film that, when used effectively, can turn a good game into a legendary one. So let's get started. Plot devices are narrative tools that writers and storytellers use to drive the story forward, add depth to the plot, and keep the audience engaged. In the context of tabletop RPGs, these devices can help game masters create memorable and dynamic campaigns that captivate their players. Whether you're crafting a new campaign or looking to enhance your ongoing adventure, understanding and utilizing these plot devices can make a significant difference. First up, we have the Alibi. In RPGs, this is when a character has an excuse or proof that they couldn't have committed a certain act, often used to deflect suspicion or create intrigue. As a game master, you can use this plot device to create layers of intrigue and mystery in your campaign. For instance, imagine your party is investigating a series of thefts in the royal palace. One of the key suspects, a charismatic noble, has a seemingly unbreakable alibi. This forces the players to dig deeper, questioning witnesses and uncovering hidden motives. Perhaps they discover that the noble used a body double or manipulated time records. This keeps your players engaged, challenging their detective skills and encouraging creative problem solving. Next, we have the Big Dumb Object. This plot device revolves around a mysterious, often powerful artifact that drives the plot. As a game master, you can introduce such an object to create intrigue and a central focus for your campaign. Imagine a colossal ancient relic discovered deep within a forgotten dungeon. Its purpose is unknown, but it radiates immense power. The player's quest to uncover its true origins and purpose can lead them on epic adventures, from deciphering cryptic inscriptions to fending off factions vying for control. For example, in a high fantasy setting, the object could be an ancient rune-covered obelisk that alters reality itself, sparking debates among scholars and drawing the attention of power-hungry villains. This not only provides a continuous thread for your campaign, but also opens up numerous side quests and moral dilemmas as the party grapples with the implications of such a powerful artifact. Cliffhangers are classic storytelling tools that can be particularly effective in tabletop RPGs. As a game master, ending a session on a cliffhanger helps your players eagerly anticipating the next game. For example, imagine your party has just infiltrated the villain's fortress. They sneak through the dark corridors, avoiding patrols, and finally reach the grand chamber where the villain awaits. As the door creaks open and they see the villain raising a mystical artifact, you end the session. The suspense and excitement will have your players buzzing with theories and anticipation, ensuring they return with renewed enthusiasm. Cliffhangers can be used to heighten tension, create dramatic pauses, and leave players with a sense of urgency. Whether it's revealing a long-lost character, introducing a new threat, or placing the characters in immediate danger, a well-timed cliffhanger can turn a good session into an unforgettable one. Death traps are a fantastic way to add tension and excitement to your RPG sessions. These elaborate, often deadly traps set by villains challenge players and create memorable encounters. As a game master, you can design intricate death traps that test your players' ingenuity, resourcefulness, and teamwork. Picture a dungeon room where every step triggers a new peril, a floor tile that releases poisonous gas, walls that start closing in, or a series of puzzles that must be solved to avoid being skewered by hidden spikes. These traps can serve multiple purposes in your campaign. They can act as guardians for powerful artifacts, forcing players to prove their worthiness. They can also provide opportunities for character development, as players may need to rely on each other's unique skills and abilities to survive. For instance, a rogue might need to disarm a trap while a wizard deciphers ancient runes, all while the fighter holds off a swarm of skeletal guardians. Such scenarios create high-stakes moments that are thrilling and memorable, pushing players to think creatively and work together under pressure. Additionally, death traps can be used to reveal aspects of the villain's personality and backstory, showing how meticulous or cruel they are, thereby deepening the narrative and the player's investment in defeating them. Disguises can create unforgettable plot twists and dramatic revelations in your tabletop RPG sessions. As a game master, you can use disguises to add layers of intrigue and deception. For instance, a trusted ally might be revealed as a foe in disguise, shaking the party's trust and forcing them to reassess their situation. Imagine the party's loyal guide who has been with them through thick and thin suddenly tearing off their mask to reveal they are the infamous villain they've all been hunting all along. This shocking revelation can lead to intense emotional responses from the players, fueling their motivation to seek justice or revenge. Disguises can also be used more subtly, such as a character using a disguise to gather information or to infiltrate an enemy stronghold. For example, a party member might don the garb of a palace guard to gain access to restricted areas, providing valuable intel for the group. These scenarios encourage creative thinking and role-playing, allowing players to explore different aspects of their characters and the story. Additionally, you can use disguises to introduce red herrings, keeping the players on their toes and adding complexity to the narrative. The key is to ensure that the use of disguises is believable and adds to the story rather than feeling like a cheap trick. False death or false ending. A false death or ending can be a powerful narrative twist in your tabletop RPG sessions. This device creates the illusion of closure, only for the true threat to re-emerge later, adding depth and surprise to your story. As a game master, you can use this to keep players on their toes. For example, the party might believe they have defeated the Dark Sorcerer after an intense battle, only to discover later that he faked his death and has now returned stronger than ever, planning his revenge. This revelation can reinvigorate the plot, forcing the players to adapt their strategies and delve deeper into the mystery. It can also lead to significant character development as the party grapples with the emotional impact of realizing their victory was temporary. Additionally, this device allows for the introduction of new allies or enemies as characters who previously seemed defeated or inconsequential return to play pivotal roles. The key to successfully using a false death or ending is to foreshadow it subtly, ensuring the twist feels earned and adds a fresh layer of complexity to your campaign. Flashbacks are excellent tools for revealing backstory and character motivations, enriching the overall narrative. As a game master, you can use flashbacks to provide your players with crucial insights into the history and psyche of their characters or key NPCs. Imagine a session where the players are transported to the past, witnessing a pivotal event that shaped their current quest. For instance, the paladin in your party might recall their first encounter with the dark forces they now oppose, revealing the roots of their unwavering resolve. This could be a battle where they lost a mentor, explaining their deep-seated fear of failure and their relentless pursuit of justice. By experiencing these moments, players gain a deeper understanding of their characters' motivations and the larger narrative, making the story more immersive. Flashbacks can also be used to foreshadow future events or unveil hidden connections between characters and plot points, adding layers of complexity and intrigue to your campaign. This technique helps to build a richer, more engaging world that your players will be eager to explore. The McGuffin is a plot device that revolves around an object or goal that drives a story forward, even if its intrinsic value is secondary. In your tabletop RPG campaign, a McGuffin can be the legendary artifact everyone is searching for, such as a mystical amulet said to grant immense power. The pursuit of this McGuffin propels the characters through various adventures, encounters, and moral dilemmas. For example, imagine an ancient scroll that supposedly reveals the location of a powerful artifact. As the party follows the clues, they encounter rival factions, each with their own reasons for seeking the scroll. This journey not only pushes the plot forward, but also allows for rich character development and world building. The true value of the McGuffin lies in the quest it initiates and the interactions it spawns, providing a continuous thread that binds the story together and keeps the players engaged. It can lead to unexpected alliances, betrayals, and personal growth, making the narrative more dynamic and compelling. Plot twists are essential for maintaining suspense and excitement in your tabletop RPG campaigns. As a game master, a well-executed plot twist can completely alter the direction of your story, challenging your players' assumptions and strategies. For instance, imagine the party has been working with a benevolent king, only to discover that he is the mastermind behind the kingdom's recent turmoil. This revelation forces players to rethink their alliances and objectives, adding a layer of complexity to their quest. Plot twists can also reveal hidden identities, unexpected betrayals, or long-lost secrets, keeping the narrative dynamic and engaging. To implement a plot twist effectively, subtly foreshadow it with clues that in hindsight make the twist feel earned rather than arbitrary. This encourages players to stay alert and engaged, knowing that any detail might have greater significance. By incorporating plot twists, you can ensure that your campaign remains fresh and unpredictable, providing memorable moments and deepening the player's investment in the story. Red herrings are deliberate distractions that mislead players, adding layers of complexity and mystery to your RPG campaign. As a game master, you can introduce a character or clue that appears significant but ultimately has no bearing on the main plot. For example, the party might be convinced that the shifty tavern owner is the key to solving a series of murders, only to discover that he's a harmless eccentric. This misdirection keeps players on their toes, encouraging them to investigate thoroughly and question their assumptions. Red herrings can also help build a richer narrative by fleshing out your world with diverse characters and subplots. The challenge is to ensure that these false leads feel natural and contribute to the overall story rather than frustrating the players. When done right, red herrings enhance the suspense and make the ultimate revelation of the true villain or solution all the more satisfying, as players feel a sense of accomplishment in untangling the web of deceit. Chekhov's gun is a storytelling principle that suggests every detail introduced in a story should serve a purpose. In your tabletop RPG campaigns, this can mean that seemingly minor details or items introduced early on become crucial later. For instance, early in the campaign, the party might find a seemingly inconsequential old map in a dusty library. As the story progresses, this map reveals the location of a hidden treasure or the lair of a powerful enemy. Using Chekhov's gun not only makes the world feel more interconnected, but also rewards players for paying attention to the details. It can also add depth to your narrative by making players feel that every encounter and discovery has the potential to impact the story significantly. This device encourages players to engage more deeply with the game world, knowing that any small element could become a key plot point later on. Deus Ex Machina, or God from the Machine, involves an unexpected external force that resolves a seemingly unsolvable problem. In tabletop RPGs, this device can be a powerful tool for game masters, though it should be used sparingly to avoid undermining player agency. For example, if the party is trapped in a dire situation with no apparent escape, a divine intervention might save them, perhaps in the form of a deity they worship intervening at the last moment. This can create a dramatic and memorable moment, emphasizing the presence and influence of higher powers in your game world. However, it's crucial to foreshadow such interventions to maintain narrative consistency. Perhaps the party had previously performed a significant favor for the deity, earning their future aid. This ensures that the resolution feels earned rather than arbitrary, preserving the integrity of the story and the player's sense of accomplishment. It doesn't have to be a deity. Any force that sort of comes in and saves the players can be a Deus Ex Machina sort of approach. Foreshadowing involves planting subtle hints about future events in your narrative, creating anticipation and coherence within your story. As a game master, you can use foreshadowing to enhance the depth and richness of your campaigns. For example, early in your campaign, you might describe an ancient prophecy that hints at a coming darkness. This prophecy can include vague references to specific characters or locations that will become important later. As the story unfolds, players might encounter symbols, visions, or minor events that align with the prophecy, gradually building a sense of impending doom and guiding their actions. Foreshadowing not only makes the story feel interconnected, but also rewards observant players who pick up on these clues, making their eventual discoveries and victories more satisfying. It also helps to maintain suspense and keep players engaged as they try to piece together the hints and predict what might happen next. The key to effective foreshadowing is subtlety. The hints should be noticeable enough to be recognized in hindsight, but not so obvious that they spoil the surprises to come. In medias res, Latin for in the middle of things, involves starting your story in the midst of the action. This technique can grab your players' attention from the get-go and set an exhilarating pace for your campaign. Imagine beginning a session with the party already embroiled in a fierce battle, surrounded by enemies, with no time for lengthy exposition. This immediate plunge into chaos forces players to react quickly and decisively, engaging them right away. For example, you might start the party escaping a collapsing tavern with rocks falling and time running out. They must navigate the treacherous terrain while fending off pursuing creatures. After this intense start, you can use flashbacks or NPC dialogue to fill in the backstory and explain how they ended up in this predicament. In medias res not only hooks your players but also creates a dynamic entry point for new plot lines, making the game feel lively and immersive from the very beginning. A race against time is a thrilling plot device that adds urgency and stakes to your tabletop RPG sessions. You can create scenarios where the players must complete a critical task within a strict time limit, amplifying the tension and excitement. Imagine the party needs to stop a dark ritual that will summon a powerful demon at the next full moon. They have only 3 days to gather the necessary components and confront the cultist before it's too late. This ticking clock pushes the players to make quick decisions, prioritize their actions, and often take risks they might otherwise avoid. The urgency can also lead to interesting moral choices, as the party might have to choose between saving a village from an immediate threat or pressing on to their primary objective. This device ensures that the game remains dynamic and engaging, as players are constantly aware of the impending deadline and its consequences. To enhance the experience, you can use in-game countdowns, descriptive cues about the approaching deadline, and escalating challenges that convey the increasing pressure. And there you have it, folks. Incorporating these storytelling devices into your tabletop RPG sessions can significantly enhance the experience for your players. Which of these have you tried in your campaigns? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more RPG insights. Thanks for watching. See you next time.